Hey, what's going on? This is Mike, and I am the Sports Dope. You can find me on Twitter at that Sports Dope, and I'm on Instagram with the same name. If you're looking for other social media stuff, you can go to mindsofmike.com/thesportsdope, and there you'll find links to YouTube. So if you happen to stumble across this on iTunes, or if you happen to stumble across it on YouTube, then you could find the iTunes. So whatever you want, you can find it there. It looks shitty right now, but it's about to look a lot better because one of my best friends in life that I've known for years, she is a graphic designer, and she made me some pretty sick artwork. And so I'm going to be putting that on Twitter, the website, and all that other stuff. And when you see it, you're going to be like, holy shit, that's dope. Where can I, get myself some of that? You can go to AndreaFowlerDesign.com. That's Andrea, Fowler Design.com. You'll be able to see all her stuff. And it's a fucking fantastic website. She does websites too. She does everything. It's amazing. But yeah, so let's talk about some Week 10 football. But before we do, we're going to recap Week 9. Week 9, slightly profitable. A lot of the straight plays, 2 and 4 in the straight plays, but you know what? We hit the dog, we hit the teaser. Those are plus money. And so that brought us into some positive. We were plus 1.2 units if that's the way you're working that shit out. So yeah, I'll take that. I'm into it. And the night before, did all right in the UFC fights. I basically just bet every underdog, and it worked out. So that's what I pretty much always do. I'm not a big UFC guy, but it happened to be on, had people over, got way too hammered, spent all of Sunday on the couch, and because I'm pretty old, I was fucking hurting Monday, which is why I'm doing this Wednesday night instead of Tuesday night, which is when I prefer to do it. So, yeah, and, hurting Monday, didn't get my research done. Yesterday, shitty day at work, got home, did some research, I just didn't just didn't work out. Still actually feeling it from the weekend, too. I was up till like 5 o'clock in the morning drinking. It was absolutely ridiculous. Shouldn't be doing that at my age. I have no idea what I was thinking. Daylight savings, that thing didn't help. It was like 1:30 in the morning. I was like, at 2 o'clock, the clock's going to go back. It's not that big of a deal. Then at 2 o'clock, it didn't happen. And then I was like, maybe they do it at 3 now. I don't know why I even thought that. 3 o'clock came. Stayed 3 o'clock. I was like, oh shit, that 1:30 was the second 1:30. And it's really 4 o'clock. And then I stayed up later. So, fuck me. That's what it was. That was a problem. Still not even feeling too hot. So, there we are. Sound like shit. But let's recap Week 9 real quick. The Thursday night game was Arizona and San Francisco. We didn't place a bet on that one. We did say Arizona would have hit that. I wasn't feeling it, though. No. One thing I was feeling, and I was feeling it wrong, was the Jags. Like I said, I went to bed fucking super late. I barely woke up for the 1 o'clock games. And by the time I did wake up, the Jags had already got smoked. And they got smoked and they didn't score any fucking points. So that was good because we also bet the under. And while I was in the middle of talking about it, I fell in love somehow with the Houston team total under. And that actually did hit too because they only scored 19 points. So that was actually not a bad game. And after that, we had Philly with the teaser. That shit hit. After that, we had Minnesota with the teaser. And that shit hit. Because we did take it in the middle of the week when Kansas City was favored. So if you did that like on Sunday or some shit, I don't think it would have hit because it probably would have pushed if you did 6 points. Because it was Minnesota -3, I believe, when it popped off. Next up, we'll just finish talking about the teaser since we were right there. We also talked about the Cleveland and Denver under of 49. That should hit because it was 43 in the beginning of the week, and that was like right before they said that fucking weird dude, Brandon, whatever his name is, was playing. And, the Arkansas quarterback, it dropped down to 39, but if you would have teased that shit up, it still would have hit. So either way, W. And after those games, we had, just going through the little spreadsheet there, no mind, Washington, but we didn't bet on it, which was a good deal because Buffalo did smoke them. The next game on the list, the Indy game. Yo, fucking Vinatieri, man, because we got it at the beginning of the week when it was still a pick. I paid 115 for it, but that shit would have worked out if stupid Vinatieri would have hit that fucking field goal. That was frustrating as shit. But whatever. Deep breath. Really, it was Brian Hoyer's fault. It was the Minkah Fitzpatrick interception return for a touchdown. It was a 10-point swing because you got to figure they're at least getting a field goal there, and instead Pittsburgh gets a fucking touchdown. So, yeah, no. Carolina, we didn't bet on it, but we should have. Miami, yeah, I was nervous about the Jets last week because sometimes when, shit goes all haywire, the team, kind of solidifies. You ever, things like that happen. But that didn't happen there. And so we should have bet on Miami. And Seattle, it depends. So, plus 6.5, plus 6, 5.5. Depends on where you got it. Seattle won by 6 in overtime. It was a good fucking game. Detroit, I don't know what it was. It was a good game. It was close. And it was just unfortunate that the touchdown won it, and it won it for the wrong side. And a couple questionable things happened. I didn't see this game too much. I got to watch it. Didn't go to the tape yet. Like I said, rough couple days so far. For the kid out there, for the dope. So Cleveland at Denver. Yeah, Denver actually beat the shit out of them. We said Cleveland just for the sake of saying something, didn't bet on it. And I couldn't believe that they got beat up that bad. What an absolute wreck Cleveland is. This is absolutely ridiculous. And we're going to talk about it here coming up. And I don't understand what the hell's going on. So it scared the shit out of me. So I'm staying away from it coming up. But yeah, we'll chat about that here in a minute. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Green Bay. They were the sucker bet of the week. And that shit was on point as fuck. And we took the Chargers as the dog at plus 160. And that shit was very nice as well. Solid play. And, there we go. Fucking Sunday night game. First of all, I'm mad at myself because I talked myself out of the over somehow. And that got smoked, that 44. Oof. Man, I should have stayed on that shit. I think it was 57 was the total. And 57 was the total because Baltimore was the one who dominated. I couldn't believe that. It looked like Bill Belichick didn't even look at the film. The Baltimore offense did what the Baltimore offense does. It catches fucking novice head coaches off guard because they don't look at the tape. And when you look at the tape, you could usually stop it. And I don't know, maybe New England's defense just isn't that great. And because they haven't played a team with a real offense all year. Pittsburgh that first week, but I guess, I don't know. But that was terrible because Ben was still there, and it was just, that was a drubbing also. And I was all over Pittsburgh gross. But yeah, I don't know. I thought they had the personnel. I thought they'd be able to, spy on Lamar and do all that shit, but it did not work out that way. It didn't happen. Next up, we have the Monday night game, and that was Dallas. They beat the shit out of my Giants. It was gross. It happened fucking 15 miles from my house. I hated knowing it was that close. I could almost smell it in the air. And, no good. No good. We said Dallas, though, so we would have won the bet. I didn't actually throw money on it. Like I said, I was too hurting to really even watch the game. I went to sleep at halftime, which was perfect because the Giants were still in it. And then I woke up and realized, they didn't score any points in the second half. And the Cowboys scored 20 more. So it was embarrassing. But yeah, that about does it for the Week 9 recap over here. So we got a short slate of games here in Week 10. Got a lot of teams on bye. Got the Broncos, New England, Philly, Washington, Jacksonville, Houston. They're all not playing. So only a handful of games, and that's okay. There's a couple things I like. Some of this, so like we usually do. Let's first off talk about the games we're not gonna wager on, and we are not gonna wager on Baltimore at Cincinnati. I thought the line was going to be 13.5. It opened at 10. Usually when there's that big of a gap, I would take it. But I was going to stay away from this game regardless of what the spread is because Baltimore is coming off of a huge win. And while Cincinnati is basically a fucking, I don't know, a fucking dead animal on the side of the road, Baltimore, after that huge win, this is a big letdown spot. Cincinnati played them tight in Baltimore. This is in Cincinnati. The thing that almost makes me think that they might be able to cover this is because the Bengals are starting that new kid, Finley, and who knows what the hell that's going to be, especially with the barely acceptable offense that they put on the field anyway and no defense. So, I mean, look, Baltimore could blow them out of the water for 2 weeks in a row, but Baltimore could also fall flat. And I'm not going to I said whisk, idiot. I'm not going to risk my money on something that uncertain. So next game that we are not betting on, we got Kansas City. They're going to Tennessee. When this line opened, I thought it was going to be 4.5. Opened up at Kansas City -3. Now it's up to 5.5. Look, I could absolutely see Kansas City smoking them here. I'm not betting on it, though, because Mahomes is coming back from that injury. That's what everybody's assuming. That's why this line is so big in Tennessee. But Tennessee, they sometimes play up in these games. And I don't know what Mahomes is going to look like after he was crying on the fucking field. I'm not trying to make fun of it. Like, I would too if my knee was sideways. I would still be crying, actually, if that happened to me 2 weeks ago and he's about to go back on the football field because he's a man and I am not. So that's what I'm saying, though. Like, I don't know. He might be too skittish. Like, I'm a little bit worried about it. I want to see him do it, like, for real. He can go out there and absolutely smoke him. And if he does, then I'll believe in him next week and probably throw some fucking money at him. But I want to see for a week. So, next game up that we're not betting on, Arizona, Tampa Bay. I thought it was going to be Tampa Bay -2. These teams are both pretty high scoring, and anything could really happen. So, I figured Tampa would have a moderate home field advantage. But it opened at 5.5, went down to 4.5. I kind of like Tampa to come back because of the coaching edge, but I not enough to throw my money on it. And I think Tampa's been talking about running the ball a little bit more, and they like Ronald Jones, and he had a big game last week, and he's the new starter, and I think that might be smart. So the under's been dropping because that's kind of like the word on the street. So it went from 54 to 52, but I still think that both of these teams have decent run defenses, and they're going to just fucking revert back to what they know, and that's chucking the ball downfield. So 52 is probably, I think the 54 was probably right, but I'm staying away from all aspects of this game. I'm going to watch the shit out of it, though, because it's going to be some entertaining football, and I'm going to take a ton of DFS people, and I'm doing that one tomorrow. Speaking of stuff I'm going to be doing in the future, I like I said, this week has been tough. Didn't have the time to put all that shit together. I told you guys I wanted to do a deep dive on how, the record's been, do like an overall profit thing. I should be keeping up with it every week, but I'm not. So, because I just, don't feel like it, because there's, I got a lot of shit to do, and I only have so much time in the day. So I got to take some time, put it together. I'm going to do that this weekend. Definitely Monday at the very latest, because, it's kind of an off day, holiday, extra day to do some shit. Anyway, back to this though. Tampa Bay, no bet on that game. I think they cover the 4.5 though. Next game we're not betting on, Detroit at Chicago. Look, I don't like this. Right? I thought it was going to be Detroit was going to be favored, because Chicago has looked so bad. Like, the offense is just not good at all. The defense isn't carrying them anymore. And so it's just a bad team. And Detroit typically beats bad teams. So I don't know. Staying away from it. I don't like it. Chicago's the favorite. And the under's been dropping. Low scoring game. I got nothing to do with this one. No thanks. No bet on this one. Detroit, Chicago. The Rams at Pittsburgh. Look, I like the Rams, but there's been this weird thing where teams go to London, they go on a bye, they come back and they play like shit. The Steelers, they just move the ball 5 yards at a time. Their defense is playing slightly above average now. They're at home. The Rams, the Rams, sometimes they throw up a stinker. And this could absolutely be one of those times, even though they need it, with San Fran playing the way they are. So hopefully they stay focused. I think they win this game. I think they cover, but not enough to throw some cash on it. Not enough to throw the cash on it. All right, those are all the games we've got no plays on, that we've got nothing to do with. So let's dive in here. Let's dive into what we've actually got some money thrown at. I'm going to start off with a couple locks. Look, the Jets are an absolute dumpster fire, and the Giants are not that good either. But the Giants are not going to fucking let the Jets beat them in their own house. They're going to cover this game. I kind of like the over also. Actually now that the over's been creeping up. It started at 41.5. Now it's at 43.5. I didn't have it on my little spreadsheet, but man, I was thinking about it. Now that I'm out here, I'm talking to you guys, and I'm feeling the flow. I'm feeling the degenerate flow. I do like the over in this. Let me pull up a little weather report though, real quick, just to see what we're looking at over the weekend. I think it's gonna be decent, but we'll check it out. But either way, I do like the Giants. I think Saquon has a really big day. I think it's a lot of Saquon and a lot of Le'Veon Bell, and both of the defenses are bad. So I think that they're gonna make big runs. They're gonna have big catches even. So I kind of like. No, that's not the right place. So I like the Giants. I like the Giants to cover this one. I think their defense is a little bit better, and I think the Jets' offense has just been looking really bad, really mediocre. Le'Veon Bell has been the bright spot, but Sam Darnold's been seeing ghosts for like 3 fucking weeks straight. So it's going to be kind of tough, I think, for him to keep this one up and for him to stay with the Giants, because Danny Dimes, when he's playing a bad team, or a bad offense, or a bad defense, rather, I should say, he's been very good. He's been very, very good. So I like the Giants in this one. Sunday, partly cloudy, no rain, 8-mile-an-hour winds. Yo, give me the over also. I'm going to throw this in here right now. I had it in for a second, but now it's official. That one's going to be a lean, though. Only leaning that way. But the Giants are a lock. They beat the shit out of the Jets. I think it's going to be something like, give me like 31-24, something along those lines, 31-21, maybe 31-20. I think they get over that over easy, and I think the Giants cover easy. Let's see, next up. We're going to talk about another lock, and that one's going to be a total, okay? And we're going to go already to Monday night. We're going straight to Monday night because I like the over in this one as a lock also. So it's already moved from 44 to 46. I got it. It's actually 46.5 now. I got it at 46, and I still like it. I think I like Seattle's offense. I think they're going to be able to pass on San Francisco's defense. And I think Seahawks defense is not good. So I think this game is going to be San Fran, I think, is going to get into the low 30s, and Seattle's going to be right there with them. I'm thinking it's going to be something like maybe like a 34-27 game, and I'm taking San Fran. I'm leaning San Fran also. So I got San Fran minus the 6. I got the over. I got like a 34 to maybe 27, something like that. That's what I'm going with here for that game. All right, now we got 2 more leans to talk about, right? First one, we're going to go during the day, Atlanta at New Orleans. I thought that this was going to be like 8.5, right? 13. That's just way too many points. The Atlanta offense is still good. I get it. The Saints defense has been playing out of their minds, but Atlanta's coming off a bye. They know that this is like a bitter rivalry. And 13 points is just way too many. I don't care that it's in New Orleans' house. Give me the Falcons. Lean into the Falcons. 13 points. I'll take that. Let's take that one. Last lean we're talking here. We're gonna go to the Sunday night game. Vikings at Dallas. Look, I hate to say this, but Dallas is a good team at home. They're a decent enough team, and Kirk Cousins in prime time is an awful, awful quarterback. It's just a fact. It's just an absolute known truth of the universe. It's more like gravity's only a theory still, technically. Kirk Cousins being bad in primetime is a fact, stone cold fact. And so we're going to take Dallas. We're fading Cousins. And Thielen's still hurt. Dallas has a good defense. I think Dallas wins this one like 24-17 maybe. I think Kirk Cousins has a tough time. I think Dalvin Cook is like going to be an X factor. I think he gets his. But I think where they're going to fail is when Dallas goes up and they can't pass their way back. Okay, let's go into. We're going with the sucker bet of the week right now, and that's gonna be Buffalo. And look, when I guessed this line, I saw Buffalo goes to Cleveland. Cleveland, who is an absolute like piece of like. They're more disgusting than that river that goes through their town that's all polluted in like the 80s. So like that river in the 70s is a more clean, like this team is grosser than that river in the 70s. It's absolutely hilarious to watch. I love the fact that the Giants have a better record than them. It's embarrassing. I love it. Buffalo's a good team. They have a good defense. They've beaten bad teams. They've beaten them very badly also. And Cleveland's a bad team if you look at how they've played so far this year. So I thought this was going to be Buffalo and a field goal. Even though it's in Cleveland. It's Cleveland minus 2.5. And then it moved to 3. And it's crazy to me too because I'm looking at the money. And all the money's on Buffalo. But the line's moving towards Buffalo. I don't get it. So I'm staying away from Buffalo. That shit scared me. I don't like it when the money doesn't make sense to me. I don't like it when that happens. It's not. Nah, I stay right away. Sucker bet, not into it. Dog of the week. Let me get Miami. Yo, they just won. They tasted it. They're believing in Fitzpatrick. They're going to play an Indianapolis team whose field goal kicker is mediocre at best right now, even though he's the best in history. And you might be facing Brian Hoyer. And look, it was his fault. That interception. And look, I lost money on Indy, so I'm a little biased right now. I get it. But it was still his fucking fault. If he doesn't throw that pick six, when they're about to at least go in the end zone, at least kick a field goal, maybe go in the end zone. He doesn't throw that. Whole different game. And the line's the same because, Miami's believing in himself a little bit. And, plus 390, that's not too bad. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw a third of a unit on it. So that's a third of a unit bet because it's such a big dog. So maybe I get back a unit and change. A little piece and change. So now we're going to go into the teaser. Last but not least, doing pretty good on the teasers. I think won the last 2 weeks, so we're hot on the teasers. And we're going to start off Thursday night. I like starting on Thursday night because if I lose that leg, I got a whole new teaser planned on Sunday already. It's all ready to go. So we're going to start with Oakland on Thursday night. With the Chargers -1. Look, the Chargers have been playing very poorly all year. And even when they've won, it's been like still kind of ugly. Like I wasn't believing in them like on Sunday when I think that was more Green Bay just doing nothing as opposed to the Chargers playing amazing. And I think most people would agree with me on that. And as much of a joke as everybody likes to make of Oakland, they've been playing decently. They've been playing well. The Lions are a good team. They just beat them at home. They came home from a long-ass road trip. Now they're there to show the city what they're about to fucking lose. Like, they're a slightly below average to average football team. And the Chargers, they won one game when the other team was in a huge letdown spot. And, wow. All the other games they've lost. And even if they win this one, it'll be close. Guaranteed. So give me Oakland +7 in the tees. Next up, we're going back to the dog. Give me Miami. Give me Miami at Indy. We're going to tease that 10.5 to 16.5. And lastly, we're going to go to Green Bay. They just got smoked in LA. Embarrassing. They're going home. Got to pick themselves up. Carolina's coming to town. Carolina, this line's moving a little bit. Green Bay, it moved from 7 to 5.5. That's perfect for teasers. Give me that +0.5. They wind up in a tie somehow. We still win. Woohoo. All right, so let's recap everything we're betting on. The 2 locks we got the Giants -2, Fran over 46. We're leaning towards Atlanta +13. We're leaning towards Dallas -3. We're leaning towards San Fran -6. The sucker bet of the week is the Bills. Stay away from that because the money doesn't make sense. Miami +390 is the dog. We're throwing 1/3 of a unit on it. And the teaser this week, Oakland +7, Miami +16.5, and Green Bay +0.5. Short week, short-ish podcast. We're at 26 minutes. Not bad. Whatever. Ran through it a little bit. And it's fucking late. I got stuck at work tonight to add to the terrible week I've been having. Man, when you work with clients directly, that sucks. Anyway, enough about that. Let's get the fuck out of here. Let's place these bets quick before the lines move away from us. And, let's collect some money from the bookies on Monday morning. All right, I am Mike. I am the Sports Dope. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at ThatSportsDope. If you go to mindsofmike.com/thesportsdope, you will find a bunch more social media icons where you'll be able to follow all my shit across the board, YouTube, iTunes, whatever you want. The website looks like shit as of this recording, but soon enough it will look great because of my friend Andrea Fowler at AndreaFowlerDesign.com. There you go. That's it. Have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow on the Daily Fantasy Pod. We're going to win some money on the Millionaire Maker. Peace out.